Did you know that there was a pharaoh who built his own capital, another who never lost a single battle, and a third who even defied the gods of Egypt? All of them were immensely powerful, though both religiously and politically. Let's find out who they were and if you have a favorite. Now, before we dive into this topic, remember to give us a thumbs up if you enjoy learning about history and subscribing for more videos just like this. Imagine one person with a will so strong they could rally hundreds of thousands, like a queen bee leading a massive hive. They'd work for decades, creating a stone mountain that reaches for the sky and stands the test of time. Now, picture a ruler whose words weren't just rules, but powerful commands, shaping the spiritual lives of millions. This isn't some wild fantasy. It was the reality for the pharaohs of ancient Egypt. But out of all these godlike kings, who really held the most incredible power? Ready for an epic adventure through time? Let's dive into the fascinating world of ancient Egypt, where the Nile was more than just a river. It was the lifeblood of a civilization that flourished for over 3,000 years. Now, picture this. Pharaohs weren't just rulers. They were considered living gods. Can you believe that? Their role was super important. They were responsible for maintaining Moat, which is all about keeping the sacred balance between order and chaos. So, buckle up, because we're about to explore the incredible stories and secrets of this ancient land. Power in Egypt was like a crown made up of countless jewels. You had military strength, economic control, religious authority, and that lasting legacy that everyone talks about. These rulers didn't just lead armies. They commanded loyalty like no other. Can you imagine the kind of respect they had? They carved monuments that stood the test of time, leaving their mark on history. And let's not forget how they shaped the destiny of an entire empire. It's absolutely fascinating, right? Get ready to meet the pharaohs whose names still echo through time, the true titans of ancient Egypt. Khufu, the pharaoh who moved mountains. Meet Khufu, a warrior king like no other. He wasn't just about battles. He was a visionary builder who dreamed big. Around 2589 BC, this incredible pharaoh wasn't satisfied with just any tomb. Nope. He had his sights set on creating a monumental masterpiece that would wow generations to come. Now, let's talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's the last standing wonder of the ancient world, and honestly, it's absolutely breathtaking. Just picture it, towering, grand, and filled with history. Khufu's ambition didn't just leave a mark. It left a legacy that continues to inspire. Isn't it amazing how something built so long ago still captivates us today? Can you imagine the sheer scale of this project? Khufu's pyramid originally stood at an incredible 481 feet tall, and it was constructed with over 2 million limestone blocks, each weighing about 2.5 tons. That's like building a skyscraper with ancient tools. The precision and dedication of the workers who toiled day and night are nothing short of awe-inspiring. Even today, the Great Pyramid continues to captivate millions of visitors from around the globe. It's not just a tomb, it's a symbol of ancient Egyptian ingenuity and ambition. So, next time you think about ancient wonders, remember Khufu and his incredible vision that changed the landscape of architecture forever. How cool is that? This thing wasn't just big, it was an absolute marvel. Picture this, standing at a jaw-dropping 481 feet tall. The Great Pyramid of Giza is constructed from over 2.3 million stone blocks. Some of these massive blocks weigh as much as an elephant. Can you even imagine that? For nearly 4,000 years, it held the title of the tallest structure on Earth, which is just mind-blowing. What's even cooler is how its sides are aligned almost perfectly to the cardinal points. This alignment isn't just for show. It's a testament to the incredible engineering and astronomical skills of the ancient Egyptians. They were light years ahead of their time, and that's something we can all appreciate. So, next time you think about ancient wonders, remember the Great Pyramid isn't just a pile of rocks. It's a symbol of human ingenuity and determination, showcasing the lengths people will go to create something truly spectacular. Isn't it amazing to think about how this incredible structure has stood the test of time? And no, it wasn't built by slaves. Khufu commanded an entire nation, skilled workers, architects, and laborers, who worked with military precision. Feeding, housing, and organizing them was a national operation that shows how powerful and organized his government truly was. But this wasn't just construction, it was cosmic. The pyramid was a resurrection machine, built to launch Khufu's soul into the stars. Every stone shouted one message: the pharaoh is divine. Khufu didn't need to conquer lands. He conquered eternity. His pyramid wasn't just a tomb, it was a throne of stone, proving that he ruled not just Egypt, but time itself. Thutmose III, The warrior pharaoh who never lost forget, Napoleon. Meet Thutmose III, Egypt's original military mastermind. Ruling around 1479 BC, he didn't just expand Egypt, he transformed it into a superpower. Thutmose was definitely not meant to steal the spotlight too soon. While his stepmother Hatshepsut was in charge of Egypt, he was busy training hard, preparing himself like a true conqueror. When he finally took the reins, he didn't hold back. He launched an incredible 17 undefeated campaigns across Syria and Nubia. Can you imagine the thrill of that kind of power and success? You won't believe this legendary move. It's all about the Battle of Thutmose took the reins and led his troops through a treacherous mountain pass. Picture this. His cautious generals were all about playing it safe, but he had other plans. He caught the enemy completely off guard while they were snoozing. Can you imagine the shock? It was total victory and absolute domination. What a bold strategy, right? He didn't just throw punches, he built a freaking empire. Thutmose pushed all the way to the Euphrates in the north, snagged Nubian gold down south, and brought a tidal wave of wealth, tribute, and power flooding into Egypt. And let's talk about his game plan. Absolutely genius. His strategy, flawless, no doubt. Those who dared to stand against him, they were totally crushed. Can you imagine the impact he had? It's wild. He even recruited the sons of his enemies, raised them in Egypt, and turned future threats into loyal allies. Now that's thinking long term. Thutmose III wasn't just Egypt's Napoleon. He was the blueprint for empire. The warrior king who conquered, ruled, and left his mark carved in stone for eternity. Amenhotep III, Egypt's golden god king. He didn't need armies to conquer the world. Diplomacy and divine swagger. Taking the throne around 1388 BC, this 18th dynasty pharaoh inherited an empire built by warriors like Thutmose III. But instead of war, he brought Egypt into its most glorious golden age. Nicknamed the Magnificent, Amenhotep III mastered international diplomacy. Through royal marriages, mountains of gold, and lavish gifts, he turned ancient diplomacy into an art form. No wars needed. He became Egypt's ultimate builder, leaving behind awe-inspiring wonders like the Luxor Temple and the massive Colossi of Memnon's 60-foot giant still watching over the Nile. His reign overflowed with luxury, art, and divine celebration. His said festivals were like ancient royal Coachellas, cementing him not just as king but as a living god. Amenhotep III didn't swing swords. He built temples, shaped culture, and ruled an empire that shimmered with unimaginable wealth. No war, no blood, just gold, glory, and the crown of a god. Akhenaten, the heretic king who rewrote God. What happens when a pharaoh dares to rewrite the rules of the gods? You get Akhenaten, the most radical, rebellious, and controversial ruler in Egyptian history. Born as Amenhotep IV, this guy took the throne around 1351 BC and didn't waste any time shaking things up. Within just a few years, he flipped Egypt's whole religious scene on its head. Can you believe it? He said goodbye to the old gods and declared that only one really mattered, the Atan. And get this, he even changed his name to Akhenaten, which means servant of the art. He basically made himself the only voice of divinity. That's some serious power move right there. Temples to other gods. Yeah, they were shut down. The priests of Amen, totally stripped of their power. This was a spiritual revolution that really rocked Egypt to its core. To show just how serious he was about breaking from tradition, he went all out and built a brand new Kapatna, which we now call Amarna. This sunlit city was dedicated solely to the Aton sun disk. How wild is that? And his art, wildly different. Gone were the stiff statues. Instead, we see intimate, strange images of the royal family. Akhenaten, his queen Nefertiti, and their children, basking under the Otan's rays with elongated heads and tender poses. But while he obsessed over religion, Egypt's empire frayed at the edges. Diplomats begged for help in letters that were never answered. His divine dream began to crumble. Egypt bounced back after his death, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. The old gods were welcomed back with open arms, and that place was left in the dust. And as for Akhenaten, he was wiped from the history books, dubbed the heretic king. But here's the kicker. His legacy is still alive and kicking. It's a powerful reminder that real strength doesn't just come from armies or piles of gold. Nope, it's all about ideas, dangerous, divine, and absolutely unforgettable. Ramses II, the great ancestor, pharaoh of power and propaganda. If Egypt had a superhero pharaoh, it was Ramses the Great. Ruling for a staggering 66 years, he was a builder, warrior, and master of spin. The ancient world's king of marketing, Ramses had a vision right from the start. He wanted to turn Egypt back into a powerhouse, and let me tell you, he went all in. His most epic moment, the Battle of Kadesh against the Hittites. Now, sure, that battle ended up being a bit of a tie, but you wouldn't guess that from Ramses' own take on the story. He really knew how to spin things in his favor, making it sound like a total victory. He took to the temples and monuments, painting himself as this unstoppable force like a one-man army charging into the fray with the gods backing him up. Talk about a bold move, right? Whether it was all true or not, it totally worked in his favor. This grand storytelling not only boosted his image, but also played a crucial role in sealing history's very first known peace treaty. How cool is that? Ramses knew how to spin a tale, and it definitely paid off. Ramses really knew how to leave his mark with his incredible monuments. He didn't just throw up a few buildings, he completely transformed the skyline. Temples, statues, and cities everywhere you looked. It was all about Ramses. The massive Abu Simbel temples and the Grand Ramesseum practically screamed, "I am Egypt." And can we talk about his family? With over 100 kids, his legacy is definitely going to stick around for ages. Just imagine the stories and history that come with that kind of lineage. Ramses wasn't just a ruler, he was a force of nature. Ramses II wasn't just a king, he was a brand, an empire builder, and a god on earth. His legacy, still standing, still stunning. A true titan of Egyptian history. Our journey through ancient Egypt has unveiled pharaohs who ruled in vastly different ways, yet each left an unforgettable mark. Incredible figures in ancient Egypt really capture the imagination. Take Khufu, for example. He absolutely knew how to rally a nation to build a great pyramid, right? It's like he had this incredible power that went beyond just strength. He got everyone organized and tapped into that divine authority, which is pretty impressive. And you know what? It's like he had this amazing vision that brought people together for such a monumental task. Can you imagine the sense of unity and purpose that must have been in the air? It's just mind-blowing to think about how they all worked together to create something so iconic. Then there's Thutmose III, who was like the ultimate strategist. He expanded Egypt's territory with military finesse, turning it into a powerhouse of an empire. You can just imagine the thrill of those battles and the excitement of claiming new lands, can't you? It's like he played the Game of Thrones, but in the sands of Egypt. And we can't forget Amenhotep III. This guy dazzled everyone with his charm, art, and luxury. He ruled with wealth and cultural brilliance that made everyone sit up and take notice. Talk about living the high life. Akhenaten even shook things up by changing Egypt's religious landscape. He used fresh ideas to reshape the very essence of power. And Ramses the Great, he was a warrior and a builder who turned his life into a legend, leaving behind epic monuments that still blow our minds today. These were not just rulers. They were icons of divine power, commanders of armies and architects of eternity. They governed not only with might, but with vision, shaping a civilization whose grandeur still echoes through time. Their power was monumental, their legacy eternal. So, what did you think of these titans of ancient Egypt? Which pharaoh do you believe was the most powerful, and why? Share your insights in the comments below. Loved this trip through history? If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a story. Share this with your history-loving friends, too. Keep diving into the past, and we'll see you next time.